Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Magic Moon message. This is the Peace Dealer, Moon in Taurus, Sun in Leo, 270 degrees of completion. And I hope you're enjoying my resting bitch face. Shout out to the Earth sign risings and dominance. The moon is in Taurus, so you'll definitely be feeling that natural quality. Something about fire, season to enthusiasm and passion, but energies that are solely fire dominant may think that an absence of this would mean that one isn't confident, one doesn't feel that good, when not everyone is retarded, like a retarded fire representation. You have certain fire reps who have earth, have air, have water. So, it's actually possible to feel incredible and look like you have resting bitch face. All right. Shout out to the Earth Doms. You live this. You know what I'm talking about. But it's something very interesting to explore. The psychology around what certain people must see on the surface before they're convinced that something is the way it is. It's actually really more what children do, whereas more maturity can understand nuances in facets like this. So just keep that in mind, especially when it comes to the outside looking in. 270 degrees is a Capricorn signature of reputation and quality, in this case, that you may have to show for on the Leo stage. And given the Uranian unconventionality, this is what's going to really transform and shift status quo relative to, especially if you're an air or water sign representing more of the yin element, relative to what people may have evaluated that you were worth, or that your performance is worth, or that what quality you brought to the table versus what quality you actually are bringing to the table. And the unconventionality of Uranus will really set this precedent that there, especially with Jupiter and Gemini, there's a whole lot that perhaps you've been living with. It's going to be normal for you because you've been growing this and building this, but there's a lot that is getting ready to be established on this day and tomorrow that will really shock others, because maybe for the longest time they had no reason to believe that certain concepts were even real. All right, it's this 270-degree angle is your high score, especially since the new moon in Cancer and then the full moon in Leo. This is the results for all of that. The moon's going to go into Gemini, Volvo on Jupiter. This is going to really shift a lot of your perspective of, what rewards you're coming into, the quality of supernatural talent you've just activated. And for some people, it's going to look like it's coming out of thin air, that you're coming into overnight success, that things are just suddenly going good for you. And it's not that things are suddenly going good. It's that, some of you have cast your pearls to swine. Some of you have been sharing your gifts and talents to those who don't know shit about shit. Like they seek and chase after low-hanging fruit. So like there's a consistency of power and value you've shared that to many people they didn't really have the wisdom to know that it was even worth anything. So you may have understood it, but to these people it's going to look like it's just sprouting out of nowhere, when most of this has been in the works for near a decade, if anything. So yeah, that being said, like once again, there's so much that a quick transit like this will serve to shock, not remind, but shock certain people close to you, not close to you, from afar, watch it. You may not even be aware of this once again, because it's like the magician card. It's like certain things that you've been studying and practicing and expressing for years is not going to be as impressive to you because you've done it for so long versus someone who's just seeing it for the first time and almost marveling at facets that you may not even feel are that skilled enough. This is once again in part due to the unconventionality of Uranus and Taurus that will be, of course, connecting with this Capricorn signature. Very unconventional expression and manifestation of this shift in your legacy. Some of which y'all might be able to form monopolies in the short term and the long term. Short term, at least, ideas that no one else can realistically copy or do because they're not you. So these are mechanisms, precedents you're gonna really push out there, especially for those of you who intimidate others to the point where they, through cognitive dissonance, feel the need to, put ill out about your name out there, make up stuff about you, stop opportunities. You're going to find that those actions have only served to backfire in your benefit if you even are aware that this type of stuff may happen, because true power, true quality, that's going to, remain quality and powerful regardless of external influences around it. And some people, once again, are going to find out the hard way that, what God has called clean, He can't call unclean. What you've been chosen to work on and develop can't really be shifted. I know a lot of people think they're God, and they're gonna realize, you just a lowercase g, and that's not even a problem. You know what I mean? Just you have people who think they're uppercase G's and have to be humbled and find out the wrong way. There's only one, baby. Other than that, once again, like, this is a completion of a full moon Aquarius harvest with Pluto that we had. And there's a tangible manifestation of the supernatural that you're going to begin to harness a lot more coming into the next week where we have the new moon. So this is a very important checkpoint that now that you're on stage in Leo, it's giving you an understanding of your own value and how much you bring to the performance, how valuable you have continued to level up. And that's what's going to set up this nice moon in Gemini, expanding what actions you take towards, your entourage, who's in your circle, who's clapping, who's cheering for you. So now that the moon in Aries has made it, more clear who the fuck you are and how it is you begin to perform that, stand more into that confidence, that passion, right? That conviction of the I am presence. Now you're actually manifesting its value. That value you're manifesting, you're understanding how this adds to the legacy of this quality, what kind of reputation you are individually manifesting, and how any, outside influences that seek to undermine that value really can't, because nothing that's actually real can be threatened. It's only something that's masquerading around itself to be real, having to constantly reinforce, oh, I'm real, and suppress everything that says it's fake. That's not real. Nothing real has to do that. All right, so just keep that in mind. By their fruit, you're gonna know them. So many frauds, but people keeping it real. And this allows your own quality, merit, and value to speak for itself through the moon in Gemini 11th house transit. Fixed sign transits like this can really remind people how insecure they are because of the need to prove their value to other people, to people who they look as above them. You know what I mean? Someone who knows their worth doesn't have to prove their value to other people. And it's cool to say this, but you'd be surprised the grown adults, men and women, who to this day have to really kind of carve their identity off of proving themselves to this group, proving themselves to that group, social proofing. Only losers do this. I know people don't want to hear only losers do this to a bunch of other losers who kind of basically reinforce these societal patterns that were always fake and never real. All right. This is going to really express that intrinsic value that cannot be bought, that can't necessarily be influenced, and you're gonna be reminded not a lot of people have that. When should push comes to shove, if someone wants to keep this sense of respect or standing they have with other people, they will jump as high as they are told to jump. Whereas there are a few of you who will not, forsake your dignity. You actually still have that. And if you were to have to lose all the money or support that you had to maintain it, you wouldn't look back or think twice. Thank God you still exist in this world. And welcome once again to the next stage of Hunger Games. Hopefully you'll have fun slaughtering all these fake fucks on your way to the next stage. And if, such extreme concepts and themes like mass extinction events and perhaps having to really, really, really fight against other people who see you as less than you are, then, I wish you all the best, because it's just gonna get a lot realer than all the fake stuff we had to kind of simulate before. All right. Other than that, I hope this understanding of your value innovates in a unique way that opens up more room and possibility for you to express your character. And I hope you're ready for this next precedent of how much more tangibly and real you're in a position to harness your own supernatural abilities. With Mercury that has entered Virgo and will retrograde later, if not next week, your mind is already wrapping around the analytical detail of how to actually harness this innovation of energy. And, while you're socially integrating this on stage, what kind of fun you can inject in this as well. Allow insecure beings, allow beings who are racked with cognitive dissonance to continue to play their hand and expose who they are by, projecting on you. Because, what else would they do if they didn't have you as an outlet to project on? You who in your authenticity exposes how fake they are without even trying. Whether you want to have compassion or not, be very mindful of what you're being told, reading behind the lines, because kings and queens do not suffer the opinion of sheep. That's not just a saying, that's a quality that is felt at the core. And as you really build and strengthen this, the strengthening of this aspect that's square to Pluto intensifies with that strength, and it will make uncomfortable those who are not secure in themselves because they're weak, stupid little bitches. Then there's you growing stronger, being able to integrate all these facets of yourself here at this 270 degree of completion to manifest this high score and prepare to activate a new cycle with which you will perform and express more of this development. You guys stay blessed as always. Look forward to some minor paranormal activity, if in an effort to remind you that you are a spiritual being having a physical human experience, and that when it comes to this awakening and manifestation of supernatural abilities, you have only just begun to tap into the force. Don't let materialist, reductionist, fake science gaslight you out of the fact that you are a spirit and you are a soul and you have a body, and that all the theoretical models and research in the world pale in comparison to the infinite potential your mind holds. So go out there and make these discoveries on your own, find like minds, and be the revolution and change you want to see. I'll catch you the next Magic Moon message.